I'm Alexis Van Herkman, and welcome to Resolve in a Rush, where you'll learn DaVinci Resolve grading and finishing techniques in under 5 minutes. In this episode, we'll take a look at how you can export H.264 encoded clips directly from DaVinci Resolve. Now, in the course of every project, whether you're editing or onlining or working as a colorist, you will have to submit a work in progress to your client. And these days, one of the best ways to do that is to submit an H.264 compressed project that you can send to them via Vimeo or any one of a number of client sharing services that are emerging out in the world. So you can do that directly from inside of Resolve. You don't have to use a third-party app. And you do this from the Deliver page. So if I go into the Deliver page, this is where I render projects out of Resolve. Now you can see clearly this is very much a work in progress. I only have a few clips that are graded. Blah, da, blah, da, blah, but this is only for example, right? So if I want to quickly export an H.264 project, all I need to do is go over to the render settings, and at the very top there is an easy setup pop-up. All I need to do is to choose Video Sharing Export, and automatically all of these settings are set up to export H.264. I'm rendering the entire timeline as a single clip in the QuickTime format using the H.264 codec. Now I can choose to change the resolution. If I wanted to drop this down to 720p resolution, for example, I could do that right here. I'm going to leave this as 1920. The frame rate I can't change, although I could round up to 24 if I wanted. Now, while we're looking at this shorter list of options, we're going to take a look at the file area. The Render To field shows me the current path where what I am about to render is going to be written. If I want to change that path, I simply click the Browse button and choose a new location on whatever disk I want to render to for the output to be saved. So that rounds out all of the basic controls. However, if we wanted to exercise more specific control over the data rate, there is an expanded set of controls we can turn to. And to do that, I can just jump into the Advanced tab. I now have a data rate control, and I can choose to restrict this to any data rate I might want in kilobits per second. So I could set this to be 20,000 if I wanted. I also have the ability to change how keyframes are handled, automatic versus every 12 frames. I'm going to leave this to automatic. I also have the option to turn frame reordering on or off. In most cases, you'll want to leave this turned on. If I keep going down, you'll notice that I have this audio section. I definitely want to export audio. It defaults with this preset to the AAC format with best quality. I do have the option of changing my data rate. In this case, I might want to max it to 320 kilobits per second for my stereo output. I can choose how many channels of audio I want to render to, in this case for stereo. And I can also choose my audio bit depth. This project is 16-bit. At this point, the only thing I want to check is to go down into the timeline and make sure that the whole timeline is in fact selected. If I have any doubts, I can zoom all the way out to see that yes, indeed, the entire timeline is currently selected for output. Once I have all of this set up, I click the Add Job to Render Queue button, and this whole setup appears as a job in my render queue. And when I'm ready to go, all I need to do is click Start Render, and I'm off to the races. I hope you found this useful. If you want more information about working in Resolve, you should check out my titles from Ripple Training. These include editing in DaVinci Resolve 11 and grading in DaVinci Resolve 11. Thanks so much for watching.